Right now is one of the riskiest times that I've ever seen for entrepreneurs online, and it's not because opportunities aren't available, it's because the wrong opportunities are everywhere. Everybody's screaming about AI and passive income and lazy side hustles and done-for-you digital products, and if you pick the wrong thing to build, then you're gonna waste the next 3 years building something that's gonna crumble in 3 months. So in this video, I'm gonna break down the 4 traps that are killing online businesses right now, the moves that you need to make if you wanna make some real money online, like how I've made over 7 figures online in my business, with just one digital product doing a little over 900K. And this ain't gonna be no fluff or no hype or no motivational, inspirational stuff or anything like that. I'm gonna just give you some real game. Look, it's only gonna take me about 5 minutes to break down these 4 traps that are absolutely obliterating entrepreneurs online right now. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then you'll probably just get trapped like a professional athlete that gets a stripper pregnant. But look, the first trap is what I call the hustle business trap. Now, you've probably heard this before. People saying that I made $10,000 a month with insert whatever hustle. Cool, but here's the truth. It's not sustainable. That's what I call a hustle business. And these hustle businesses, they can only exist in a very small window of time, like MRR schemes. If you don't know what MRR stands for, it stands for master resale rights. So this is where people just resell other people's Canva templates, ebooks, courses, done for you digital products and whatnot, or all the AI cash grab products that are just wrappers around a free tool like ChatGPT. Somebody will say that they have this new agent, or they have some new program that will help you create a digital product, or they'll create a version of themselves like, yo, you can get my AI to whereas you can ask me any question. Well, that's just a wrapper around something free like ChatGPT. Right? Like you could just go on ChatGPT and get that stuff for free. Other hustle businesses that people try to get off are things like faceless digital marketing, right? Heard that 1,000 times. And I could just keep going and going and going and going, because there's always going to be a new flavor of the month. But with the hustle biz trap, like, yeah, you might make some money, and you might even make some money quick, but it's fragile. If the market shifts or the trend dies or the platform updates, then you're stuck holding the bag. And you don't want to build a business off of a trend. Why? Because trends don't last long. Trends come and go. There's always a new trend. That's why you'll hear these people that have these hustle businesses always jumping into the new fad, into the new trend. Now it's master resale rights. Now it's all these AI stuff. Then it's faceless digital marketing. Then a couple years ago, they were doing NFTs. Before that, they were trying to do Turo and Airbnb through rental arbitrage. Like, it's always some bullshit. If you want to build something that lasts, then you got to stop chasing hustles and actually build something that solves a real problem in a market that's going to last for the next 5, 10, 20 years. That's the difference between rent money and building actual real wealth. Now, the second trap is turning low-skill services into AI businesses. I call this the copycat service trap. So, with the copycat service, you've probably heard the pitch. It's customer service, but with AI. It's coaching, but it's automated with AI. My AI can help you build a digital product. It's a blog post, but with AI. These aren't businesses, these are copycats, and the market is already flooded. If 1,000 people can launch the same offer tomorrow, then it's not a business, it's a bloodbath. And what typically happens with these copycat type businesses is that there may initially be a wave, right? But guess what happens with the wave? The wave typically crashes, except when this wave crashes, it's gonna flood down here, but it's all gonna be blood. Like, it's gonna be an entire bloodbath, because all these people on the way down of this wave crashing, they're just competing on price. And that's why the wave crashes, because there's so much competition and everybody's just trying to make their stuff cheaper to get some sales. And it's a race to the bottom to this eventual bloodbath. You'll compete on price until there's no money left. So what can you do instead? Well, you can build something that's unique. Well, how do you make something unique? You make your product and your business unique. You are the key factor, because nobody else is built like you. Jay-Z has a lyric that I love. He said, and B.I. said, Hov, remind yourself, nobody built like you design yourself. You're out here trying to be and do what everybody else is being and doing. And then a lot of people wonder why they can't find any room. Well, because all these other copycat things and all these other people are taken when there's a whole open spot for you and your ideas. Now, I'm not saying not to use AI, but use AI to support your process, not to replace it. AI shouldn't be your business model. Your experiences, your stories, your processes should be your business model. But I'm just seeing so many people right now, especially in the online coaching space, whether it be somebody that's in a make money online niche or in a health niche or in a relationship niche, like literally in all the niches, they're thinking that AI, if they just attach AI to some type of service or even a digital product, that is going to be the way. And that's what they're packaging up right now. And they're thinking that they can just, kind of like how I said in these hustle businesses, in Trap 1, whereas they're wrapping whatever this new thing is around something that's free, because they think that they can just take some LLM, which stands for large language model, and like all these AIs, they're all basically LLMs, like a chat GPT, that's what a LLM is, right? And they'll take one of these AIs that is readily available for free, but then they'll pitch some type of new product or some type of new service, like this is some secret that's going to help you unlock whatever it is that my big promise is. But at the core of it, it's this thing that you could get access to free, but they have a ribbon around it like it's something else. And once people find out that this is all that you're doing with the product, then you can lose a lot of trust and credibility with your audience as you're building them. There's somebody, I don't know this guy personally, don't have anything positive or negative to say about him, but there's a guy that's really big in the make money online space. His name is Iman Gadzhi. I'm pretty confident his audience is probably a bunch of teenagers to maybe a couple 19 to 22 year olds or something like that, right? But he had some type of great new product that was going to help build your digital products and all this stuff. And then people found out there was just Chat GPT. He was charging some absurd price for people to just use Chat GPT when they could have just done it for themselves. He lost some trust with that segment of the audience that heard about his offer. And you don't want to be like that. Now, the third trap, let me turn this back black. The third trap is the small market trap. Now, with the small market trap, you don't want to start a business in a market that's too small or shrinking. This is where a lot of creators get stuck. Like they pick a niche that's cute, but the cap on it is like $5,000 a month. Or even worse, they pick a dying niche, like trying to teach tactics on Instagram that don't work anymore. So I'll give you a formula on how you can calculate your TAM. And TAM, T-A-M, stands for Target Addressable Market, right? So you'll know if your market size within your niche is big enough for you to make some serious dough. So here's the equation. The equation is your number of customers times your price point equals your market. That's it. It's pretty simple. So this is what this really means. And why are these squares right here? I don't even know how to get those off. So don't mind the squares around these here. And I'll just put market size here. So your number of customers times your price point equals your market size. So for example, if you have 20,000 customers and a realistic lifetime value for these people within a particular market is only $50. Well, you have $1 million market size. Now, is that something that you think that you can build a big business from? No, to me, that's more like a hobby business. And I say that because there's no room to scale. The total addressable market is only $1 million. It's not a lot of money to go around. But on the flip side, let's say that you're in a space with 1 million buyers, and each one Over a lifetime of them being a customer, spend $500 through different digital products, trainings, resources, mentorships, communities, or whatnot, right? Well, now you have a $500 million market. So even if you just snatch 1% of this market, you still make $5 million. That's something that I want to get into because I know that I don't have to get a lot of sales to make a lot of money. It's the same effort, but a different ocean. So my personal rule of thumb is that if the math doesn't equal out to at least a couple hundred mil, then I'm putting a cap on myself. Now, if your market feels too small, there's a few things that you can do. For one, you can broaden your avatar, right? And if you broaden your avatar, that means that you'll find more buyers. Or what I prefer to do, because it's always going to be easier to get the same person to buy again than to acquire a new customer, I like to increase my lifetime value. And the way that you increase your lifetime value is by getting those people that have already bought to either buy again or to get them to spend more. You do that by adding upsells, downsells, maybe some possible bundles, or adding some recurring income. But the math has to be realistic buyers and realistic dollars, not just wishful thinking. So ask yourself before you start, is this niche growing or is it shrinking? Is there enough market size for me to hit my financial goals? If the answer is no, then pivot now before you waste years. And something else that you need to ask yourself, really ask yourself why you want to make the amount of money that you want to make. Because if life for you, you'll be comfortable making $3,000 to $5,000 per month, which I am one of those people. I'm kind of different from a lot of the make money bros. Like, I think a lot of people would be very happy making $4,000 to $7,000 a month for themselves instead of a job. If you know that that's something that you actually want to do and you don't have these big endeavors to build a 10 million, 100 million, billion dollar company, then maybe you will be okay right here instead of jumping into something like this. So you really need to sit and spend some time with yourself, and whatever your financial goals are, ask yourself, why do I want to make this money? Because I'll tell you, and I was talking to my best friend about this the other day. I fired my job April 1st, 2016. I didn't realize that I was rich in 2017. It didn't take me that long to get rich because when I fired my job, my main motivator was me not having to check the prices on stuff in the grocery store and not have to worry about the price on stuff in restaurants and get appetizers and desserts and drinks if I want to, and wake up when I want without setting an alarm and go to sleep whenever I want, and not have to worry about the next day and do what I want, when I want, how I want, on my own time. I fired my job April 1st, 2016. I had accomplished that in 2017, but I wasn't making that much money per month. I was only making about $3,000 to $5,000 per month, but my bills were only around like $1,200 to $1,500 per month. So I could actually do whatever I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it, how I wanted to do it, on my own time. But I had kind of lost track of what I got in it for, and I got distracted by all this other stuff. My blind ambition led me astray. Now, I'm not saying that ambition is a negative thing. I'm probably one of the most ambitious people that you would ever meet in your life. But back then, my ambition was blind. It wasn't directed towards somewhere. So I later on ended up putting myself in a position where I wasn't free anymore. Back then I was free. Back then I was doing what I wanted to do and I didn't owe anybody anything. One of my other friends, he knows that one of my favorite movies is American Gangster. And there's a line that Denzel Washington says in American Gangster where he says, nobody owns me though. And my friend used to say that to myself. And I was like, dang, nobody owns me. And I used to revel in that feeling. Then later on, I ended up putting myself in a position trying to scale for reasons that I didn't know what my reason was. Then I just ended up owing other people money and working because I had to pay some other people. So I just really want you to think about this, because as I'm saying this, like, don't think that anything is wrong with going right here. But if you do want to go a little bit bigger, make sure you know why. Don't just do it to get money's sake, because a lot of people don't need as much as they need to live a lifestyle that they actually desire, right? A lot of people are getting distracted by what they see on social media and TV and what they hear in music and stuff like that. Make a lifestyle business. Get to a lifestyle that you desire to get to, and then ask yourself, am I cool being here, or do I want more? And if you want more, make sure you have a reason for it besides just wanting more. Now, sorry to take you down memory lane, but I've just been through some very painful things along my entrepreneurial journey. And the whole reason why I do what I do on YouTube is so that you can hopefully avoid some of those painful pitfalls that I've been through. Now, let's get to the fourth trap. Now, the fourth trap is the dependency trap. All right. Now, the dependency trap is building a business that only works if someone else is feeding it. I see creators and entrepreneurs go through this all the time. Like, their business will crumble if TikTok stops showing their content. Their business will crumble if the Instagram algorithm switch. Their business will crumble if the YouTube algorithm switches, which, as somebody that's building a business off the back of YouTube traffic right now, I'm telling you, if you think like a contentpreneur instead of a content creator, you won't have to worry about things like that on YouTube. Because a lot of people, they don't realize, let me give you just a little game on YouTube real quick. A lot of people, they don't realize what YouTube was built on in its origination. Like, YouTube used to be a dating website. A lot of people, they don't know this. And even though YouTube has evolved into something else, the core of it is still this dating site. Because what is a dating site? All that a dating site has is a pool of people over here and a pool of people over here. And then they want to match and put these people together. So that's how YouTube works. YouTube has a bank of videos over here, and then they have a bank of all these people over here. And all that YouTube wants to do is match the right person to the right video. So if you're not thinking about entertaining people, you don't have to really worry about the YouTube algorithm switching and changing and stuff like that. Because if you make content focused on problems that people are going through, people are always going to be looking and searching for the solutions to those problems. And if you build a bank of these videos over here, YouTube is constantly going to send you traffic and send those people over to your video. That's why YouTube trumps all. But outside of that, just give you a little YouTube game real quick. Back to the dependency trap. Something else that I see a lot of people doing is that they become dependent on advertising. Right? That's something else that I got caught up with in the past also. I thought I had found some success. I had figured out how to run Facebook ads and run profitable Facebook ads. And then I got lazy. And then I started to meet some people that were like, hey, I see that you're already having success running Facebook ads. I can make your Facebook ads more successful. And then when I bring those people in, because they supposedly knew what they were doing, when looking back on it, they hadn't done it for themselves. Why did they think that they could do it for me, right? Well, if you build something that's dependent on something like ads, and as soon as your ad platform gets shut down, boom, your income automatically disappears. My income went to zero overnight because years ago I built a business that was dependent on ads. You don't want to build something based on if someone else has to feed it. You want to build something that you know you can feed. Now, the way around this is to build a business that gets better even if platforms don't get better. Your offer should be valuable because it's proven, not because of a platform. Your system should work with or without the hype. That's how you build something real. And system, SYSTEM, stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. You create a system for yourself so that system can do the work 24/7, 365, and that's how you actually get your time back and you make more while working less. But hype of a platform doesn't matter if you build a strong and solid system. So what should you build? Well, go after a big growing market. Don't waste time in shrinking places. Just as a quick rundown, typically the biggest niches are going to be health, wealth, relationships. Those are the big three. It's actually four. I put the fourth as entertainment, but you don't want to be an entertainer, because typically people that just want to be entertained never want to be customers. They just want to watch some stuff. So typically Stick to health, wealth, relationships. Those are the biggest niches. And within those three, there are always going to be some type of subset. Just think about everything that you watch on YouTube outside of you looking to be entertained. It typically goes under one of those three buckets. And within those buckets, you want to solve a painful problem, not a nice to have. Look, people, they pay for transformation, not toys. And make your solution flexible, so if trends help, great. But if they don't, then your business is still solid. And build assets, not hustles. Look, you got to look at all this stuff like it's digital real estate, and that's the primary reason why I only make YouTube content. I look at YouTube like it's digital real estate. I look at YouTube like the digital asset that it is, because YouTube, it compounds over time. So for one, if I consistently make videos adding true value to people, right? Even though I don't have making money off of AdSense as a business strategy, I do get paid from YouTube off of AdSense, right? So after I make a catalog of valuable content that I know people are going to be consistently looking at over time because I have solutions to certain problems that people are going through, well, all of these are going to be little digital assets that are making me that ever elusive passive income that people want so much over time, right? But not only that, remember, YouTube's a matchmaker. So even though these are all generating revenue right now, remember, it's a dating service. So YouTube has a pool of people over here that they're just looking to match that viewer with the proper video, right? Well, not only do I get money off of the AdSense of the eyeballs on these videos, but I also convert a percentage of these people to my offer. So over time, you just have this compounding effect, and everything compounds over time. But with this, all these catalogs of videos that I have right here are holding everything up. And then this is what sustains my business. But this is a digital asset, not a hustle. Digital products, those are digital assets, not hustles. A coaching program, these are digital assets. These are not side hustles. Communities, which are something that I absolutely love and something that I'm glad that I found because I am passionate about it. But a community, right? This is a digital asset that, just like what I explained over here, can compound over time as well. But these are digital assets. These are not hustles. These are things that stack over time. Look, you don't need to build hype. You need to build foundations. And here's the thing about building a foundation. And so many people, they don't realize this, because a lot of people are scared to get started because they feel some initial discomfort, or they may feel some pain, or they're even scared of taking a loss. But think about this. If we're building a house and we're building a foundation, a lot of people think that this is the foundation, and then we build the house on top of the foundation, right? Wrong. That's not the foundation. So first, if you're going to dig foundation, what you have to do first is that, you have to dig a hole down into the ground. All right, so you have to dig down first, and then you pour the concrete into the foundation. Now you build the house on top. So when people say that, oh, stuff is hard, that's you digging down and building that solid foundation so you can have a business that actually stands strong through the test of time. And then some lingo that I kicked up for me and the members in my community is that once we have our foundation built, instead of continuing to try to raise the bar, let's focus on raising the floor. Because like I said earlier in this video, how I had been through a terrible time in my entrepreneurial journey when my income literally went to zero overnight. Well, that's because I kept on trying to raise the bar. Let's see how much more money. Let's see how higher. Versus now, all that I'm focused on is raising the floor. So if I continue to raise the floor, no matter how high I get, if I happen to fall, if I get to this height, if I happen to fall, well, I've raised the floor right here. Well, how about I raise the floor to here, to whereas if I happen to fall, I land right there. It's not gonna hurt as much. But the internet is full of distractions right now. All this AI hype, all the hustle bros selling passive income dreams, all this market resale rights, Ponzi schemes disguised as passive income. But the ones that aren't chasing any of that, They're building offers that solve real problems for real people. They're stacking products, communities, and systems so they can get numbers coming in online in their business, just like what you see on the screen right now. And if you're ready to make more while working less to build your income, impact, and influence online from stuff that you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description to join this Credit at the Top community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. But don't waste any more time building the wrong business. Build the right one starting right now. And if you want a little bit of help, I can help you in the community. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. And go ahead and check out this video right here for a step-by-step system that I use to make $10,000 in 1 hour with the launch of a digital product. It's Credit at the Top.